Let me be real with you for a second. You have probably searched how to make passive income late at night. Maybe when things felt a little tight financially. Maybe when you were just exhausted from trading your time for money and wondering if there was a better way. And somewhere along that journey, you landed on advice that sounded so good it almost felt like a secret nobody was supposed to know. And you got excited. You maybe even tried something, and then nothing happened. Or worse, you lost money. That feeling of hope turning into disappointment is one of the most discouraging things a person can go through when they are genuinely trying to build something better for themselves. Here's what nobody tells you. That disappointment was not your fault. You were misled. The passive income space online is absolutely flooded with myths so convincing, so polished, and so emotionally seductive that even smart, capable people fall for them every single day. And today we are going to rip every single one of those myths apart, one by one, so you can finally see the truth clearly and start making decisions that actually move your life forward. Before we go deeper, if you are someone who is serious about learning real, legitimate strategies to build income that works for you, there are related programs linked down in the video description right now. A lot of people scroll past those links and then spend another 6 months stuck in the same place doing the same things. The ones who actually take action on what they learn are the ones who get results. So keep that in mind as we go through this. Now let us talk about the first myth that absolutely destroys beginners. The myth that passive income means doing nothing. This idea is everywhere. You see thumbnails with people on beaches, laptops closed, drinks in hand, and captions that say things like "make money while you sleep," as if income just floats into your bank account because you wished hard enough. Here is the brutal truth. Every single form of legitimate passive income requires significant upfront work, time, skill, or money, and often all four. When someone says they make passive income from a course they sell online, they are not telling you about the hundreds of hours they spent building that course, creating the marketing system behind it, the email sequences, the sales pages, the audience they spent years building before a single person bought anything. The passive phase comes after a very active phase. And for most beginners, that active phase is longer and harder than anyone warned them about. Think about what this myth costs you in real terms. You spend 3 weeks uploading stock photos to a platform expecting a steady stream of royalties. Nothing comes. You feel like a failure. But you were not a failure. You were just handed a fantasy without the full picture. That gap between expectation and reality is where most people give up, right before things could have actually started working. Pattern interrupt. Here is something that will completely change how you think about this. The most successful people building real income streams online do not talk about passive income as a goal. They talk about building systems. A system is something you pour yourself into once and then optimize over time. It is not a beach. It is an engine. And once you understand that difference, everything shifts. The second myth is that you need money to make money. This one hits differently because it sounds logical. It almost sounds like wisdom, and for certain paths, like dividend investing, it is partially true. But here is what this myth does to most beginners. It paralyzes them. They sit on their hands believing they cannot start until they have a certain amount saved up, and that day never comes because life always has other plans for that money. Entire income streams exist that require nothing but your time, your attention, and your willingness to learn. Content creation, freelancing that transitions into digital products, affiliate marketing done with integrity, teaching what you know in a structured way. None of these need upfront capital to begin. They need consistency, strategy, and the kind of mentorship that compresses years of trial and error into months. People who learn from those who have already made the mistakes see results dramatically faster than those who try to figure everything out alone. That is not a theory. That is just how learning works. The third myth is possibly the most emotionally painful one because it is the most seductive. The myth of the one secret method. You have seen this. Some video or post promises that one specific method, one app, one technique, one funnel is the golden ticket that everyone else is hiding from you. And it is always framed as urgent. Like if you do not act right now, you will miss the window forever. And so you do something you would not normally do. You rush. You skip the foundation. You implement a tactic you do not fully understand inside a system you have never built. And then it does not work. Here is what the data actually shows. People who build multiple income streams over time, starting simple and stacking as they grow, consistently outperform those who chase single silver bullet methods. Diversification is not just an investment word. It is a psychological armor against the volatility of any one platform, algorithm, or market. When one stream has a bad month, others carry the weight. This is not complicated. This is how resilience is built in income. Pattern interrupt. Imagine waking up and your income did not depend on clocking in anywhere. That is not a fantasy for the right people with the right foundation. But the key word there is foundation, and that foundation starts with unlearning the myths before you try to build anything real. The fourth myth is that results should come fast or the method is broken. This one quietly destroys more potential than almost anything else. Because when you believe results should come within days or weeks, you abandon things right before they compound. Compounding is the most powerful force in building any kind of income stream, and it is almost invisible in the early stages. The person who built a content platform that now generates consistent monthly income spent the first 4 to 6 months feeling like absolutely nothing was working. Every metric was flat, every post felt pointless. And then something shifted. One piece of content reached a wider audience. That audience trusted the next piece. That trust converted to email subscribers. Those subscribers eventually bought something, and that cycle began to repeat itself without requiring the same intensity of effort every single month. The cost of quitting early is not just the time you already invested. It is the compounded future income you will never see. That is the real loss, and it is invisible, which makes it so easy to justify walking away. The fifth myth is that passion is all you need. This one is gentle and kind and completely misleading. Passion will get you started. It will carry you through the early discomfort. But passion alone will not teach you the technical skills required to monetize what you love. It will not build your email list. It will not write your sales copy. It will not structure your offers in a way that connects your value to what someone is willing to pay for. Passion without strategy is like a fire without a fireplace. It burns beautifully and then burns everything around it and leaves you with nothing. The people who turn passion into income learned the business side of what they love. They invested in understanding how to position their knowledge, how to reach the right audience, and how to convert that attention into consistent earnings. That investment, whether in education, mentorship, or structured programs, is consistently the difference between the people who eventually build something sustainable and those who remain passionate hobbyists who never quite cross the threshold into real income. Here is the full picture distilled into one idea. Passive income is real. It is absolutely achievable for regular people without technical backgrounds or enormous starting capital. But it is not what most of what you see online says it is. It is built on truth, on systems, on patience, and on learning from people who have genuinely done it before you. The programs linked down in the video description are there for the people who are done consuming myths and ready to start building something real. Most people will read that, think about it for a moment, and then just keep scrolling, wondering 6 months from now why nothing has changed. The ones who take action today are the ones who will look back on this moment as the turning point. That decision belongs entirely to you.